everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Q&A class. My name is Dr. Meghna Garg and I'm biology faculty at Q&A. Students, before beginning the class, please confirm. Am I audible? Am I audible? Can you hear my voice, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
Raghavi
ma'am.
Allen, thank you for responding. Thank you, Raghu. Okay, now why you people are not opening up your cameras? Okay, open your cameras, please. Start your cameras. To those who can start your cameras, start your video cameras. To those who can't, although all of you can, I know this. Okay. So now, in previous class, we had already covered. Okay, Raghul, very good. I'm so proud of you. Okay. Now, see this. Life processes we had already been covering during the past several classes. So, in previous class, we had covered the digestion in mouth. Okay. And we had also discussed the type of movement which occurs when the food passes from the mouth into the stomach. So, can you tell me the name of the movement which the esophagus performs for transferring the food from the mouth into the stomach? Very good, Raghavi. Very good, Devimaya. Very good. Everyone else, Alan, Raghul, okay. Raghul, how should I pronounce your name? It should be Raghul or it should be Raghul?
Rahul, ma'am.
Raghul, okay. So that means I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay. So peristalsis, yes, very good, everyone. Yes, peristalsis. So through peristalsis, okay, so that is the continuous relaxation and contraction of the esophagus muscles, and the food gets transferred. Now, what do we call the food? Okay, the partially digested food which gets transferred from mouth to the stomach. I had in previous class told you the name of the food, the partially digested food. Yes, everyone. No, Raghul, the partially digested overall. The food now will be called as no, not chyme. Anyone else? Alan, Devimaya. Yes, very good, Raghavi. That's bolus. Okay. So basically, now we have bolus, which is basically the partially digested food in the mouth. And through the peristaltic movement of the esophagus, it will get transferred from the mouth into the stomach. Okay. Now, another question for all of you. Which component gets digested or which component's digestion begins in the mouth? Okay, Raghavi, I think is almost ready with the answers. As soon as I throw the question, Raghavi is always. Raghavi, particularly which carbohydrate? You need to be very particular with the name of the carbohydrate. The digestion of dash begins in mouth. Starch, Raghavi. Very good, Raghul. Very good. Alan, Devimaya, quickly. Very good. Raghavi, Raghul. Alan and Devimaya, quickly. Starch. Yes. Alan, you are not responding. Alan, okay, yes. Very good. Starch, yes. So, yes, everyone, starch. And to what starch was converted into? Starch was converted into what? Starch was converted into maltose, yes. Through the action of the name of the enzyme, through the action of salivary amylase. Very good, everyone. Very good. Very good, everyone. Okay. Now, so prerequisites, what we need to have a idea of before beginning this class. So now you are done with this term, which is heterotrophic nutrition. So I hope everyone knows the meaning of it. Then also holozoic nutrition, we have already covered this, and digestion in mouth, we are done with these three things. In today's class, we are going to talk further about digestion in humans, and weightage we have already discussed during the previous class. Let's move quickly to the outline. So in today's class, we are going to talk about digestion in stomach and also digestion in small intestine. So now let's begin with the digestive system altogether. This is a quick recap of what we had studied. So we had studied in previous class that this is the oral cavity mouth where salivary glands are present. Then you have esophagus, which is food pipe. Continuing from the esophagus, you have stomach. Then stomach opens into small intestine. In small intestine, there are secretions of liver, and you have an organ present which is called as gallbladder. And this gallbladder basically stores the secretion of liver. Then you have pancreas. So the opening of pancreas is again in the small intestine. Then small intestine is getting continued. Okay, so you have three parts of small intestine: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Then small intestine gets continued into large intestine. Okay, and large intestine finally opens into anus. This was the complete digestive system together. So this was already covered in previous class. Now the food enters into the J-shaped stomach. So now we are going to talk about the digestion in stomach. From here, now we are beginning the new topic. So see, now the food is getting entered into the stomach. Okay, this is what? This is bolus. Yes, I will, Ragul. I will later on. Once we complete the entire digestive system, then after this, in next class, I'm going to make you draw the entire digestive system together. Okay. Now, see, the food has now entered into the stomach, and in stomach you have gastric glands present. Okay, these are gastric glands which are present in the stomach. Now these gastric glands will be releasing some secretions. Those secretions are called as gastric juice. Okay, very good, Devi Maya. I encourage always my students to please switch on your cameras. Very good. So now see, the gastric glands, they are present in the stomach. So you can see they are situated in the walls of the stomach, and they are releasing gastric juices. Okay. Now what is the composition of this gastric juice? Okay. So now first component of the gastric juice, you can see the gastric juice is being secreted into the stomach. The first component of the gastric juice would be HCl, hydrochloric acid. HCl, which is hydrochloric acid. Now, what does HCl do? Basically, HCl, it would be making the pH of the medium acidic. Since it is an acid, so it will be making the pH of the medium acidic. Okay. Now, once the medium is acidic, HCl would be doing what? HCl would be killing the germs present in the food. So basically, whatever food you people are consuming from the outside, it might be a possibility that there are some contaminants present in it. There are some germs present in it. Those germs are being killed by the acidic action of HCl. Very few bacteria, or you can say very few or some exceptional cases, can survive some high acidic or highly acidic conditions. Rest majority of the bacteria, they will be killed by the HCl. Okay. Now, see, so the germs, they are being killed by the HCl. Now, again, the second important function of HCl, so it is killing germs. The second important function of HCl is what? That the HCl provides acidic medium, and this acidic medium is responsible or is required for the activation of another important enzyme. And that another important enzyme is your pepsin. So initially in the gastric juice, in the secretions of the gastric gland, pepsin is present in the form of pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is inactive form. It is inactive. That means it will not be able to digest proteins. Okay. Now, because of the acidic action of the HCl, that means the HCl is now creating acidic conditions. Because of this, this pepsinogen will get converted into pepsin. And pepsin is the active form of the enzyme. Okay, so please note down this, that HCl helps in the activation of the pepsinogen. Okay, by creating acidic conditions. Now, this pepsin is essential for the digestion of proteins. Next, The one component we have already discussed of the gastric glands, the composition of the gastric juice, that is HCl. The second important component or the enzyme which is present in the gastric gland secretion is pepsin, which is just being made active by HCl. Now, what this pepsin will be doing? This pepsin is responsible for the digestion of proteins. This pepsin will digest proteins. Okay. So now see from here, this is a protein. Oh, sorry, this is pepsin. Now you have a molecule of protein present here. Now this protein will get attached. Sorry, this protein will get, one second. Yes. So now this protein will be digested by the pepsin molecule into peptones. Okay. So please remember this, that particularly the proteins, they are being converted by the action of pepsin into peptones. Okay. Now, if you could recall from my previous class, I had told you that the complex proteins would be converted or digested into what? I had given you a table. I had given you a table where we had written the complex. Very good, amino acids. But now see from here, the proteins is getting converted into peptones. Have we yet come to amino acids? No. So that means digestion of proteins is also still incomplete. Okay, we have not yet reached to the final product of the proteins, which is amino acids. Here only the proteins, they are being converted into peptones. Okay, is it clear? Now, the third important component of the gastric juice would be mucus. It would be mucus. Now, what will mucus be doing? So, mucus basically forms a protective lining onto the walls of the stomach. Why? Because see, whenever acid is present inside the body, it can lead to the corrosion, or it can lead to the yes, it can lead to the corrosion, or it can harm the surface of the body. It will always harm you. Okay. See, if you pour acid on any non-living object as well, or on your table, then also it will get burned. Okay. It will. So if it is present inside the stomach, that means you can imagine that how much harsh it would be for our stomach to bear acid. So to protect the lining of the stomach from the corrosive action of the acid, which is HCl, the mucus forms a protective lining. And through this, the HCl cannot degrade, or it cannot harm the lining of the stomach. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so now tell me the three components of the gastric juice, the three enzymes or the three secretions which are present in the secretions of the gastric glands. Everyone, write it down. Okay, Raghavi, very good. Very good, Raghavi. Yes. Devimaya, HCl, mucus, pepsin, very good. Very good, very good, very good, everyone. Ragul, Alan, very good, Ragul. Very good. Now, NCERT, done. Now let's study a bit more. Okay. So now students, another important component, another important enzyme which is getting secreted in your stomach is what? Is your gastric lipase. Gastric lipase. So yes, now see from here. Okay. Remember this sequence which I had told you. Three molecules I had told you during the previous class, which will be digested in the entire digestive system. What are these three molecules? First of all, starch. Okay, everyone, please pay attention to this. This is very important. I'm going to tell you the trick that how do we learn this? How do we memorize that what exactly is getting digested in which part of the digestive system? Write it down in the exact same sequence: starch, proteins, and lipids. Okay. Starch. The digestion begins in mouth. Okay. Now next, from mouth, stomach will come. Okay. The digestion of proteins and lipids both will be occurring where? In the stomach. Okay. Next, after stomach comes your intestine, which is small intestine. So in small intestine now, all three molecules will be digested. You have to remember it like this. Starch, proteins, lipids, starch, mouth, proteins and lipids in stomach and in small intestine, all three. That's how you will never forget this. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, always remember it in this order. Okay, always remember it in this order. Okay, Alan, okay, Raghavi, Raghul, Devimaya. Okay, see this. Now, so now gastric lipase would be acting on what? It would be acting on lipids and it will be converting it into fatty acids. Okay. So gastric lipase would be acting on lipids and it will be converting it into fatty acids. Now, one more thing to make you people emphasize here is that the majority digestion of proteins takes place in the stomach. The stomach's main function is to digest maximum proteins. Gastric lipase is present in very small amounts. It is present, but it is present in very small amounts. If question comes to you like this, that which of the following molecules will get primarily digested in the stomach, and you see options like proteins, lipids, carbohydrates. Okay, so you might think that both options are correct, proteins and lipids, but always choose proteins. Because why? Proteins, they are being digested in maximum amount. Now, the fifth enzyme which is also getting secreted in your stomach would be renin. Renin. So renin basically does what? Renin is basically a milk digesting protein. So it basically converts the milk into a curd-like form. And then this curd-like form is easy to digest. Okay, so particularly in infants, in babies who are still dependent on mother's milk, in those infants particularly, and also babies till the time they consume milk as their main diet, in those infants, renin is secreted in a significant amount. Whereas as we grow older, as we become adults, the amount of this renin decreases. Sometimes in some individuals, this renin might be absent. It might be completely lost. Okay. So that's why it is suggested to you people that in whatever amount you can take milk, always take milk throughout your life in whatever little amount you can take, because that will continue the secretion of renin in your body. Once you completely stop consuming milk, then renin will also get completely stop synthesizing in your body. Clear, everyone? So I think from now after this class, none of you is going to refuse your mother whenever she'll be asking you to take milk. Yes or no? Yes or no? How many of you like milk? Raise your hands. How many of you like milk? Okay, Rahul is good to go. Devi Maya, you like it or not? Raghavi, Alan? Okay. Now, solve this question, everyone. Okay, Raghavi is saying no. Okay. Yes, everyone. Okay. We've already started getting the answers. Okay, very good. Devi Maya, Alan, Raghavi, Raghul. So yes, the correct answer would be option number B, a layer of mucus. Next question. Okay. Okay. So yes, well done. It will affect the digestion of proteins because why? Because why? Very good. Very good. Alan, why? Unmute yourself if you can and answer it. Or write it in the chat box. Very good, Devi Maya. Raghavi, Raghul, they are writing. Okay. Quickly. So yes, because pepsinogen will not become pepsin. It will not be converted into pepsin. It will remain in inactive form and proteins cannot be digested further. Very good, everyone. Very good. Okay, Raghul is still typing. Okay, let me wait. Very good, Raghul. Very good. Okay, now next question. Very good, Alan, Devimaya, Raghavi. Very good. Very good. Very good, Raghul. Very good. So yes, the correct answer would be it activates pepsinogen, converting it into pepsin. Next. Okay, so now let me tell you this. Okay, so we had missed on to this. Uh, Wait. Okay, now we will solve this question later on. Now see this. The partially digested food now. So the food now that is being digested into the stomach. Now that is called as chyme. Okay, so the food which was entering the stomach that was bolus, and now the food which is exiting from it that is called as chyme. Okay, now this is exiting the stomach, but it's opening into the small intestine. The exit of the food from the stomach into the small intestine is controlled by a muscle. Okay, so you can see from here, this is the muscle. This muscle is called as sphincter muscle, particularly pyloric sphincter. Pyloric sphincter. This question was asked in your board examination PYQ. So there was this one question present in your board examination which had asked the locations of the sphincter in the digestive system. So this is the first sphincter which you have encountered, which is the pyloric sphincter. This sphincter guards the opening of the stomach into the intestine, and it ensures that the food gets transferred from the stomach into the intestine. Okay, this is pyloric sphincter. Now, based on this, now I can take you back to this question. Now solve this question, everyone. Now solve this question. Okay, Raghul, Raghavi, Devimaya, Alan. Yes, very good. So the correct answer would be option number B. Very good. So now I'm skipping on to this sphincter muscle. Now the food enters into the small intestine. So you can see from here, the food is now getting entered from the, sometimes it hangs. Okay, wait. Wait, everyone. So see, now the food is getting entered from the stomach into the small intestine. The small intestine, it has three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. These are the three parts of the small intestine. Please pay special attention to the spelling of duodenum. Okay, so I remember it like duodenum. Okay, duo. It is duo. Duodenum. Please take special note of the spelling of the duodenum. Okay. Now, small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. So the alimentary canal, it was running from mouth till the anus, and small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. Okay. Now, it is 5 to 6 meters long. That means this is 5 to 6 meters long and it is coiled like this. This is a 5 to 6 meters long tube and it is extremely coiled. It is fitted into a compact space by extensive coiling, which is your abdomen. So in the abdomen, it is getting extensively coiled and getting fitted inside it with the help of twists and turns. So you can see this is the belly and this is the small intestine, which is compactly fitted inside your belly. This small intestine is even longer than your large intestine. That means your large intestine is still smaller in length than the small intestine. Then why is it called as small intestine? Why? If small intestine is longer than the large intestine, then why is it being called as small intestine? Can anyone answer this? Any guesses? Is my question correct or not? Are you getting the question? If small intestine is larger and it is longer than the large intestine, then why are we calling it as small intestine? Why? Is my question correct or not? Area. Okay. See, area. Area you can say in terms of what? It is lengthwise also longer. It is lengthwise also longer. So the area, the entire area might be equivalent to the large intestine. Yes, Devi Baya's answer is more or less correct. Raghavi. So the correct answer to this is because small intestine's diameter, width, the diameter is small in comparison to the large intestine. So small intestine's width or diameter is small in comparison to the large intestine, and that's why it is called as small intestine. Okay, so this is smaller in diameter. Please remember this. Now, just like I told you this, that in small intestine, the digestion of all three components will take place. Starch, proteins, lipids, everything would be digested here in the small intestine. Okay. Now, first of all, the digestion in stomach required acidic medium, whereas the digestion in intestine requires alkaline medium. Please remember this very important point. Digestion in stomach was occurring in acidic medium, whereas digestion in intestine. So as soon as the food is now entering from the stomach into the intestine, it has to shift its pH from acidic into alkaline. So how is being that made possible? So what will happen? So the food is now entering into the first part, which is the duodenum. Now, duodenum receives secretions from liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Okay, so in duodenum, you have the openings of liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Okay, gallbladder is simply storing the secretions of liver. So we can say that duodenum has openings for secretions of liver and pancreas. Okay, now liver is the largest gland in the body and liver is secreting what? Liver is secreting bile juice. This bile juice has bile salts present in it. Okay. So first of all, liver is now pouring its secretion into the small intestine or particularly in the duodenum portion. Now this bile juice makes the medium. Second, yes. So now whatever secretions are being synthesized in the liver, they are temporarily stored in the gallbladder. And once the food enters into the duodenum, depending on the need, the gallbladder will release its secretions into the duodenum portion. Okay. Now, so you can see this is the gallbladder, which is receiving the secretions from the liver, and based on the necessity, it will now let its secretions get poured into the duodenum part. Okay. So now you can see now the secretions of gallbladder, they are getting poured into the duodenum. Sorry. Now what happens? This bile juice makes the medium alkaline. So now this bile juice makes the medium alkaline. Okay, this bile juice is now making the medium alkaline. And also what is happening? This bile juice contain bile salts. These bile salts are responsible for breaking down of larger fat molecules into simpler fat molecules or into smaller fat molecules. Okay, so now we can skip this. Now, bile makes the food alkaline. So now bile is making the food alkaline. Wait, I'm facing some issues with my. So this is the alkaline pH, which is being made by the bile juice. And eventually, larger fat globules, they are being broken down by the bile juice, and in particular bile juice there are bile salts present, and they then convert this larger fat globules into smaller fat globules. So why is this happening? This process, this conversion of larger fat globules into smaller fat globules, this is called as emulsification of fats. But why is it happening? Why emulsification is happening? Why? So basically what happens, see, on this large fat molecule, the action of enzymes would be slow. Whereas if you cut down this larger piece into smaller pieces, into smaller fat molecules, then enzymes will get a larger surface area to act on it. Okay, so this is called as emulsification of fats, and emulsification is basically just breaking off larger fat molecules into smaller fat molecules so that now enzymes can work better on it. Okay, so this is the essence. Now wait, please. Okay, now solve this question. Solve this question, everyone. Very good, Raghul, Raghavi, Alan, Devimaya. Yes. So the correct answer this would be option number C, emulsifying fats. Now, students, I'm going to give you homework. So are you people practicing on the platform? Is everyone practicing on the platform? Is everyone practicing on the platform? Can you people tell me your proficiency for this topic? Tell me your proficiency for this topic. Autotrophic nutrition. Yes, everyone. Understand the process of photosynthesis in autotrophic organisms. How many of you are attempting the questions? Tell me your proficiency, topic proficiency for this. Tell me your proficiency, everyone. Okay, Rahul. Everyone, tell me your proficiency for this topic. I had given you this as the homework for previous class. What's your proficiency? Okay, Devi Maya. Raghavi, okay, we will ask the customer care team to contact you. Okay. Raghavi, can you please also call yourself on the customer care team? The number had already been given to you. Okay. So please call on the customer care team. Otherwise, also notify my customer care team. They will contact you. Okay. Anyone else who had started solving questions? They can tell me. So from next class, I'm not going to take this leniently. Okay. I wish to see everyone's proficiency of this topic. And I also given you topics like this. Understand the structure and function of alimentary canal and life processes and maintenance. Now, today's class, you are going to do questions on understand nutrition, energy, and transfer. Okay. So whatever topics you can see on the platform which are relevant to the class discussion, start solving questions on that, and I will be taking up individual students proficiency in next class. Okay. So any doubts, anyone? Any doubts? Anyone? Okay. So well then, with this, that's all for today's class. I hope you people are enjoying the classes. Are you people learning something new? Are you people learning something new, something extra in the class? Okay, good to hear that. So we will continue the classes in the same manner, students. If some of you might have not registered with us, then register with us. We will take up continue classes in the same manner, and after your summer vacations, we will be present in your school. So that's all, everyone, for today's class. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you in next class. Till then, keep studying, keep solving questions on the platform, and stay hydrated. Bye bye. Take care.